My husband cut off my waist-length hair at the salon as a prank, so I hired his barber to shave his head completely bald. I'd been growing my hair for 6 years and it reached past my waist, which everyone said was beautiful. My husband Keith always made jokes about how much time I spent on my hair and how much money I spent on products, but I thought he was just teasing. We'd been married for 4 years, and Keith was known for his pranks, which usually involved jumping out to scare me or putting rubber spiders in places. Annoying but harmless until the day he went too far. I had an appointment at my regular salon for a trim and deep conditioning treatment that I'd booked 2 months in advance. The stylist Marie had been doing my hair for 8 years and knew exactly how to handle it. Keith knew how important these appointments were to me because I only went 4 times a year and treated them like special occasions. That morning, Keith said he had golf with his buddies but showed up at the salon 30 minutes after my appointment started. I was in the chair with my hair wet and Marie was sectioning it for the trim when Keith walked in carrying coffee. He said he wanted to surprise me and watch the transformation. Marie thought it was sweet and let him stand behind us. I was reading a magazine while Marie worked on the back sections when I heard the scissors cutting more than usual. I looked up and Keith was holding a chunk of my hair that he'd cut off at shoulder length. He was laughing and saying it was just a prank and hair grows back. Marie screamed and dropped her scissors. I reached back and felt the jagged edges where Keith had chopped through my hair with the salon scissors he'd grabbed. Half my hair was still long and half was now shoulder length in uneven chunks. Keith kept laughing, saying I needed to lighten up, and it was hilarious how shocked everyone looked. The salon manager called security and had Keith removed while he yelled that we were all overreacting to a harmless joke. Marie tried to fix it but had to cut everything to chin length to make it even. 6 years of growth gone because Keith thought it would be funny. I cried the whole time while Marie apologized, even though it wasn't her fault. When I got home, Keith had flowers and was still chuckling about the look on my face. He said I looked better with short hair anyway and should thank him for the makeover. He said long hair made me look old and now I looked fresh and young. He actually expected me to be grateful. I didn't speak to him for 3 days, which he called childish and dramatic. His mom called to say I was being unfair because boys will be boys and Keith just wanted to make me laugh. His brother sent texts saying Keith felt bad but only about me ignoring him, not about what he did. His friends thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard and kept asking to see photos. Keith started complaining that I'd ruined his prank by not having a sense of humor. 2 weeks later was Keith's big promotion party at his company. He'd been working toward regional manager for 3 years and this was his moment. The CEO would be there and Keith had been preparing his speech for days. He'd gotten a fresh haircut and bought a new suit. He was proud of his thick dark hair that he styled perfectly every morning with expensive pomade. The party was at a hotel ballroom with 200 people from his company. Keith was mingling and showing off when I arrived with my surprise. I'd hired Keith's barber Jorge to come as entertainment, saying executives love old-fashioned barber experiences at events. I'd set up a vintage barber chair on the stage and told everyone Keith would demonstrate leadership by going first. The CEO loved the idea and insisted Keith participate. Keith sat down looking confused but playing along for his boss. Jorge started cutting normally while everyone watched. Keith relaxed and started joking with the crowd about treating yourself right when you succeed. That's when I gave Jorge the signal. He switched guards on the clippers and ran them right down the middle of Keith's head, leaving a bald strip from front to back. Keith jumped up screaming, but Jorge said he wasn't done, and it would look worse if he stopped now. The CEO said Keith needed to commit to things he started. Keith had no choice but to sit back down while Jorge shaved his entire head bald in front of everyone. Keith kept asking why this was happening, and Jorge said I'd requested the special executive cut that showed boldness and confidence. The crowd clapped thinking it was part of the show. Keith's boss said it took guts to make such a dramatic change in public. When Jorge finished, Keith's head was completely smooth and shiny under the ballroom lights. He looked like an egg with eyebrows. Full story on channel, link below.